Hello, Mr. Dimples. How you doing today? I'm doing really good, Sheila. Doing really good. Well, we have a special treat for you today. I don't know who is it. Is he here? Is he here? Yeah, he is here. He is here. Yeah, the one and only Jim Payne is here. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness gracious. The heavens have opened up. Yes, that's really cool. Okay, so anyway, well, we want to welcome Jim Payne to our live. So, are you ready to do the introduction? Yeah, I'm ready, Sheila. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Payne. Yay! Yay! Isn't that great? We got the applause there. Yay! Isn't that great?
That's too good. That's too undeserving. Undeserving.
Yeah, do it again. Do it again. Do it again. You want to do it again? Okay, we're gonna clap again. Yay! 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 Okay, Mr. Dimples, you're just having fun with the controls there. Welcome, Jim. How are you doing?
Doing good. Doing good.
Doing good. Well, we'd like to ask you a question. Yeah, what is the question, Sheila? Tell us a little bit about yourself, Jim Payne, the man, the mystery. Where'd you come from? Stuff like that. Sheila, I'm supposed to do that. Okay, why don't you? Sheila, I'm supposed to do that. Okay, go ahead. So tell us about yourself, dude.
Okay. I just turned 87. Okay, that's not.
Congratulations. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yay! You turned 87, Sheila. It's not 91. You said you were 91 years old.
As I say on stage, that's nothing to applaud about. If you live long enough, that's what you're going to be.
That's good.
And I'm 87, and I retired 4 years ago. We moved to North Carolina in Chapel Hill here to be with our son and our granddaughter. And I am trying to do a little bit of comedy. And prior to that, I was with the University of Mississippi. I was with the University of Mississippi as a professor in special education for 35 years. And prior to that, I was with the University of Virginia for 15. So I was 50 years university professor. And now I'm a professor emeritus. And I'm having a great life. My wife and I are here. We're just having a lot of fun.
So tell us more about your, you are like one of those teachers, it's called a professor. Okay, well, yeah, all those things, yeah. Tell us about that. You're so smart.
I went to the University of Virginia in 1970, and I thought that I had beat out some people for the job, and I found out I was the only one qualified for the job. They wanted a person that had their doctorate in special education but had experience in rehabilitation. And I had worked as a rehab counselor and then got my doctorate in special education. So I was the only one that qualified for the job. And when I got there, I taught a course called Rehabilitation Techniques. It was required by the state of Virginia. And it turned out being the largest course in terms of students, the largest, or started out being eventually got to be one of the largest, then was the largest attended course where I taught over $1,000 people.
$1,000? You taught $1,000?
I should have made $1,000, but I didn't. But I taught over 1,000 people, and I am very proud that I was won or was nominated or actually got being the best lecture course for about 5 years in a row. And then I went to the University of Mississippi as the dean. I was the dean for 10 years, and then left the deanship and stayed on as a professor because I wanted to complete some of my research that I'd been doing in the area of reading. I have a I have dyslexia, and I've had it all my life. I've struggled in school all my life. And the reason, by the way, the reason I went to the University of Mississippi was because Mississippi had the highest rate of illiteracy, and I thought I might be able to do something there. Truthfully, I taught a lot of people. I think I did some good, but I didn't move the needle. They're still the highest in illiteracy, and it's just complicated. Yeah.
So like you are the dean. I like that. Just the dean.
Well,
Just the dean, Jim Payne, the dean.
Yeah, when I go back there, many people still refer to me as Dean Payne. Yeah, they still do. It's
Dean
funny
Payne.
about labels or titles, but even when I was the professor there, after leaving Deanship, they still call me Dean Payne. Yeah, it's real funny because most of my life I've been either Dr. Payne or Dean Payne. And of course, then when I come to comedy, I'm Jim.
Well, you should just, you should change that, Jim. You should say, "Hello, I am Dean Payne." Yeah. Just do that, Mr.
Well, the thing that happened, though, Mr. Dimples, is I wasn't a very good dean.
No, you sucked at it. Oh, my gosh.
I had the position.
You sucked at it? Oh, my gosh.
I had the position, but I wasn't, I didn't know what deaning was. I'd never been in administration at a university. And I did the best I could. I worked hard. I worked very hard. But truthfully, what made the university great, all the great things that happened while I was a dean had nothing to do with me. It was with the faculty. And the faculty just went crazy. I mean, during my 10 years as dean, as an example, a faculty member got the Star Schools grant, which did uplinks and downlinks in the impoverished areas of Mississippi, where we did 80% of the schools, where we taught foreign language and math. Let's see, foreign language, math. It seems to me like something else. There were 3 areas, science, to gifted kids throughout Mississippi, through an uplink through the university there in Oxford, to 80% of the school districts in there. And that was all done by faculty. It had nothing. Now, I had to sign off on it, but I didn't write the grant. I wasn't the principal investigator. That was multi-million-dollar. And then we turned right around and we had a home economics department now called Living. I don't even know what it's called now, but we had 4 older ladies there. They wrote a grant and they got the National Food Service Management Institute, which is the only one in the United States. And it was not millions, it's tens of millions of dollars. And here we were in this place in Oxford, Mississippi. And during my 10 years there, the faculty just went crazy. When I went there, only one faculty member had written a book other than myself. And by the time I was there 5 years, 1/4 of the faculty had major books. And I would like to think that I encouraged that. But truthfully, I had zero to do with it. I had zero to do with it. And when you're around talented people like Sheila, Michaela, right there.
Like her.
I'm going to tell you, it inspires you. And every time I see the 2 of you, of course, I laugh, but I'm amazed at how the 2 of you work together. It's really a delight. Not just for kids, but for people my age.
Okay. Oh God! Don't talk about the kids, Mister.
I've heard you sing a little bit. I know what you can do.
The deaning, the deaning. I love Mr. Dimples loves the way you said deaning. I was deaning. Sounds like The Shining, The deaning. You're training the deaning. Yeah.
What was it? You the deniator? No, what did you? What
The
do you?
Terminator.
What's your thing about the Terminator? You use
The
the thing.
Duckinator. Yeah. You know, I used to take my clothes off. You know, I did. I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah. That's
I
right.
should have, Jim, you know what, Mr. Dimples, please. I should have, I should have done the Duckinator. I would strip at the university. Just take all my clothes off. Say, hey, Mr. Dimples, cut it out. You're going crazy.
Listen, let me tell you something. You should take your clothes off.
Let me take your clothes off.
Several times when I was at Virginia, I was between 70 to 89. 70 to 85, 15 years. 70 to 85, taught the large lecture class. Back at that time, what did they call when people would come in with no clothes on? But anyway, several times I would be lecturing to a large group, and a person would run through past the stage naked. Okay. Streaking.
Oh my God.
It was called streaking. It was called streaking. Was
streaking.
big back from 70 to 85, and so I'd been streaked. Multiple times.
Oh my goodness! You should go to therapy for that, Jim. The streaking dinging. They're deaning streaking.
When I was the dean, we didn't do any streaking. Okay.
You didn't do any streaking? No. Oh, come on, do the streaking. You should have done that. Mr. Dimples, please, you're out of control. No, not. Jim, he understands that. So you just okay. That is amazing. So you have done quite a lot in your long life there. What was the most memorable experiences you had, the times that you really felt like you made a difference to young people and your students? Sheila, that was a really good question. I'm so proud of you. Just
I wish
that's so insightful, Sheila. That's like a Hallmark TV show. Just be quiet. Let him answer the question. Go ahead, Mr.
I wish I had a good answer. Good question. I wish I had a good answer. One thing, when I look back, you had asked about, I'm trying to think when I had maybe the greatest impact. I'm not too sure. But about the thing I remember the most, or the thing that stands out, if there's one thing that stands out, many things stand out, obviously, but one thing that stood out was I really got into this. Of course, I had this huge lecture class, and I worked hard on it. I practiced, and I felt that it was once a week, 2.5 hours. I'd have them for 2.5 hours. We would not take a break. And so I felt if I could keep them in their seats for 2.5 hours, that what I had to offer, they would not be the same person at the end of the semester they were when they started. They'd be a better person. I really felt that. I still feel that today. And so when I taught, it was I think they had to like me because they enrolled in the class, and it wasn't a required class. And but I really worked at it, and to show you how much I got involved in it is about my 4th or 5th year, I was lecturing, and a storm came in, and the electricity went off, and the lights completely went off, and it was totally black in there. They didn't even have any at that time, these exit things where a light would come on and show you where the exits were. In other words, it was totally black in there. You couldn't see your hand in front of your face, and it turned black, and I was in the middle of a lecture, and I just kept lecturing in the dark. I just kept going, and the light probably stayed off, I'd say at least 5 minutes, maybe as much as 10. And I never quit. I just kept going. And then the lights came on, and I just kept going. And I had 2 assistants that were helping me there, manage the students, manage the numbers. And when it was over, we were walking out, and we were collecting all the materials, taking it back to the office. And one of them was talking about the lights going out, and they thought it was so unusual that I didn't stop or what it was. And to be honest with you, I never really thought about it. And to be honest with you, as we were walking out, I'd even forgotten that the lights were out. Isn't that something? So that was sort of a strange deal. When you ask about maybe things I had the most effect on, I really don't know, but I can tell you this. This makes me feel so humble, so proud. Is here I've been away from the University of Virginia 35 years.
Right.
I would say once a month since I've been here now 4 years, at least once a month, somebody that took my course will email me or call me. They'll find out what my email is, or they'll call me on the phone, and they'll say something that impressed them at that class. I mean, that brings me to my knees. That brings me to my knees. That's when you ask the question, what stands out or what had the greatest impact. That's just too much. That's just so great for me.
Did somebody say like, "Hey, let's go out on a date"?
No.
Did they say, "Hey, I thought you were sexy back then"?
We'll tell you. Many of them, what they'll do is, of course, I told jokes. It was not a boring lecture. I mean, the lecture had a lot of stuff in it. It had a lot of layers. It was a good course. It wasn't a just junk course. It had some real meat to it. But yeah. I would intersperse humor throughout. Right. And coming back to your comment, Mister Dimples, sometimes these people will call. Sometimes they'll call because the course affected them and it changed their vocation. In other words, they went into special ed, or maybe they're trying to help out the homeless now. That's a big deal. And they think that the course maybe stimulated them to think about that. But coming back to what you had said, some of them will repeat a joke that I told in class.
Oh, really?
And here 35 years later. Well, some of them would be 40, 45 years. Okay?
Wow.
And they remember they'll remember a joke or a situation, a sort of a funny situation I told.
You did. It sounded, when you told that story, Mr. Dimples, please. I'm just gonna say something, Sheila. Shh. Shh. Okay, I'll be quiet. Shh. Just shh. You said the word neat. Oh, you squirt! You better be quiet. Don't call me squirt, Sheila. Did you just say that to me, Sheila? Yeah, I just called you a squirt. Don't call me squirt. Well, you're tiny. Yeah, you don't know what that word means, Sheila. Anyway, okay. Shh. Okay. Well, that is really impressive, and that's really great that you have students that do, and even remembering jokes, and the fact that you were able to do the lecture when it was dark. I don't know. Yeah, like if you're having sex, when it was dark, and then all of a sudden the light comes on, and you're like, ah, who is this in my room?
Sheila. Sheila.
Yeah.
You just stimulate a thing here. Let me tell you this.
Okay.
Do you remember? Maybe you didn't even know it, but I was taking a comedy course under Matt White at Goodnight's, the old Goodnight store.
Yeah.
And what he did is, those of us that were students there, he told us to sign up for the open mic there. Well, he meant for us to sign up for the open mic after we completed the course. Okay. But I misunderstood. So And you signed up in the basement, by the bar down there. There was a little table, and there were sheets of paper on there, and you signed your name and you dropped in the bucket. And then what happened is, at that time, you would go up there and you'd wait and hope that your name was pulled out of the bucket. I didn't know this. I just signed, put my name in the bucket, went to class. Class was upstairs. It was on the second floor upstairs. And the main floor was where the performances were. And so I put my name in the bucket, went up there, and then I go to class. Well, a guy sticks his head in at the back and said, Jim, he had heard me at Dirty Bull, and he said, Jim, he said, your name was pulled out of the bucket.
You got knocked offline. Go ahead and tell. Sheila did it. Sheila did it. It's her fault. I didn't do it.
I'm getting too excited. Maybe I knocked myself off. I don't think I hit anything.
I don't just it's okay. It's okay. Neat. Go ahead. So go ahead. You were talking about, like you were in class and you signed up short, open night. Go ahead.
Okay, so here's what happened. Okay. So the guy stuck his head in the back and said, your name was pulled out of the bucket. And we told him that you were in class. He said, well, come down after class is over and they'll put you on. So he said, what they'll do is they will, you just come down after class and they'll put you on. Now, I never performed at Good Nights before. Okay, I never performed there. So Matt White said, I'll make sure he gets down there. Okay, so the class is over. Matt White takes me down. All right, so he takes me down, sets me at the table over the right. He apparently went over, told the host that I was there. Okay, so another comic or two, they do the thing. Then they announced me to get on stage. Well, we had been working on a set, and I had been working on a set there, and I was brand new at all this, for 5 minutes. It was a 5-minute set. And their time was 3 minutes. Well, I didn't know that. And I didn't understand lights. I didn't know about lights. I didn't know anything. So I get up on stage and I'm going to do this 5-minute set. So I'm doing the 5-minute set. And of course, they show the light. And then at 3 minutes, the light starts blinking. You're supposed to get off. I didn't understand that. I just kept going. And then what happened is then they applaud. They applaud, which means you're supposed to get off stage when you applaud. I didn't know that. I thought they were applauding because I was doing so great. And then what happened is the host comes on stage to pull me off stage. And when the host comes on stage to pull me off stage, I thought he was making fun of me and it was part of the act. And so I just kept going and kept moving away from him. I was making fun of him about coming on as if they were going to give me the hook. And so I take about 6 steps over, okay, and he's coming after me, all right? And then they turn the lights out. They turn the lights out if you go too long. And again, there, you can't see your hand in front of your face. I still didn't understand. I kept going for the entire 5 minutes. So I went going for the entire 5 minutes. And then walked off, I came over to walk off stage. They turned the lights on and everybody just went crazy. I mean, they just started yelling and shouting at me and all this kind of stuff. And I realized I'd probably done something wrong. It wasn't quite right. So I went back, sat at the table. Matt comes running in and he comes running in and he sits down and I want to tell you how good Matt White is. Okay. He takes and he said, oh, Jim, he says, I'm so sorry. He said, I forgot to tell you, it's a 3-minute set here. And when they turn the light on, that gives you 30 more seconds to get up. But most certainly, when they start applauding or start blinking, you have to get off. And if they come on stage to get you all stopped, for crying out loud, get off. And so I think about that because lights went off at the University of Virginia when I was lecturing. Go to Good Nights and my first performance there. And it embarrassed me so much that after it was over, I went down and told the host, look, I said, I didn't know that. I'm terribly sorry. They said, we know you were brand new. You didn't know what was going on. I said, well, I hope it doesn't affect me when I put my name in the thing again. And he said, it won't affect you. Keep putting your name in there. And then I got on before they tore the building down. I think I got on about 8 times there It was toward, when they were going to build a new building and all that. But I like that story. I think is important for two things. Shows my naivete, shows how the audience put up with it, but it shows the brilliance of Matt White. In other words, what teacher apologizes to you for your mistake? He says, "I'm sorry that I didn't tell you." In other words, he didn't get on me because I was so stupid, or because I went overtime, or because I messed things up. Right. He felt for me. He wanted me to be so successful. Every student, not just me, but in my particular case, because I messed up. Here he is. He apologized for me messing up. I mean, that's about when you start talking about teaching. Yeah, I'm a professor emeritus. Yeah, I worked 50 years at university. I hope I'm as good as Matt White. I hope I really do. Yeah. I mean, that's
come on, yeah.
That's about as high as you get.
Well, I got it. As high as you can get. Oh, Jim, tell us about your drug years. You're talking about your drug years. He's not talking about drug getting high. He's talking about the feeling of like when you feel good, you just you're not doing drugs, Jim? No drugs?
Back in those days, of course, the drugs there were hallucinogenic. I mean, people would go on. Now, I never really got into the drugs very much. In fact, I guess you would say I was probably a novice. I think what happened at the time, I was married, had 2 children, and I probably in the university work, and I was also doing consulting, a lot of consulting. I think I got too busy to get on drugs. I think maybe it was too busy. It wasn't because I wasn't interested. It wasn't because I didn't want to get on drugs. But I was sort of a workaholic. I didn't sleep much, and of course I was trying to raise family, and so I really never got much into drugs. What's interesting to me, though, is in comedy, as Sheila knows, when it's all over, oftentimes people hang around afterwards. All the comics hang around after. And what's interesting to me is sometimes when I'll do a showcase, at that time, instead of it being an open mic, when you do a showcase, you're only going to be maybe 4 or 6 people there. And then they get 4 or 6 people show around. And what makes me feel good, they're all younger than me, obviously, way younger. And then they'll say, well, they're going to go out and have a little weed. And they asked me me to go with them. And I think that's so kind of them to ask me to go with them. But I've never gone yet. But maybe when I go, I'll come back, Mister Dimples, and tell you what it's like. But now,
Sheila, you know what?
I tell them I have to get home. I have to be able to drive home. So I get home. So I'm not. My drugs, I don't have a very good story on my drugs. Oh, you want me to talk about my medications?
Yeah, talk about your medications, Mr. Dimples. Sheila's on a lot of them.
I got medication. I got medications for my heart. I got medications for trembling in my hand. I got medications for my head. I got medications for my toenails. I got medication for everything. So I got lots of medication. I don't know if that counts as drugs, but I got lots of medications.
Well, can Sheila have some? Mr. Dimples, because she doesn't do anything. She has trouble with her brain.
Let me tell you, I don't know how Sheila has time to fiddle around with you. She's working down there at the store, and
she likes to fiddle with me.
You're a liability. You're not an asset. Dimples,
no.
You're a liability.
She likes to shiddle with me, Mr. Dimples. Mr. Dimples, that's shiddle. Can you say shiddle, Sheila? Sounds like you're saying shiddle. I'm not saying shiddle. I'm saying fiddle.